Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Content Curation Success Mastermind webinar for March 23rd, 2015. Really glad to see everyone here today. And each month we gather at this time and we talk general info about curation. Let me pull this mic up just a little bit. We talk about content curation and how to do cool stuff online to get traffic and all that kind of thing. So today I want to cover images. And in previous sessions we've talked about content and curating news and that sort of thing. And so today I want to talk about how we can get images for our website without exposing ourselves to liabilities. And at the end of today's session, I'm going to share with you a special little secret technique. You may already know it, but I found it really interesting that a lot of people really don't pay attention to this little secret that I'm going to share with you at the end of the session today, and it has to do with images. Hey, John. Not sure which John that is because I'm not seeing your last names in there, but happy to have you on board. Yeah, secrets. So let's get started. Hey, John Rose. Okay, great to see you here. Glad to see everybody here. Now, the thing that you can, of course, easily do if you need images. I'm not going to talk about software at this point. I'll share with you a little bit later what I use to do this, but you can do this very easily by hand. If you go to google.com, and I'm not telling you to go get your images from Google, okay, so don't make that misassumption. You generally do not want to get your images from Google, but I'm going to go ahead and just go into Google and see, because Google actually has an image search here that you can get stuff. Let's just, I have two German Shepherds, so let's just go with German Shepherd here and see what we can get some images of German Shepherds. And of course, there's quite a few. I'm just going to give a moment for the page to download. Have a sip of my coffee. Well, that's an awful lot of German Shepherds. Now, you might say, wow, those are beautiful images. I want to go and grab those and put them on my website. Well, obviously, you can't just do that, unfortunately, because images are copyright protected. A lot of people don't even realize that they have the copyrights to the images that they have photographed. It's any photograph that you take, as long as it's not of a copyrighted work or some personality, famous personality, then you own the copyright to that image. So if you put that on your website and then somebody took that, grabbed an image and put it on their website, you could actually go and sue them for, my understanding, it's the standard fee is around $3,000 for that. So you want to avoid that kind of problem, right? If you guys are with me, let me see a 1 in the chat box. That's the new way to make things easy. Okay, great. I got some 1s, and that's good. That's a good question, Douglas. How come Google can put them on their website? That's actually a really, really good question. I don't have the answer for that, but I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. There may be some kind of, well, actually, it's a benefit, to the person that owns it. So I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that, Douglas. If I go and search for Hugh Hitchcock, I'll get a lot of my own pictures, and then I could just sue Google for each one of them, right? I make a lot of money that way. And you would have to find out what the actual law is around that, and that's a great point. So thanks for bringing that up. I'd like to look that up and find out. But for now, let's sort of ignore that one. Yeah, my sister's name is Sue, so it was Sue and Hugh. Okay, so let's just sort of ignore that 800-pound gorilla for this moment and continue on with what I was talking about. So Google does have another option, which is search settings. There is a Google Creative Commons. Now that doesn't guarantee either that you're going to get free images. I think you have to go to the advanced search for that. And okay, here you go. Now look at the bottom here. It has this link that says usage rights. And you're going to select, the one that you want. You want a free to use or share, free to use or share even commercially, free to use, share, or modify, or free to use, share, or modify even commercially. Now that's a good start, but I found that even with those searches, folks, you can come up with images that are dangerous to use. Let's go ahead and see what we get. And this is the lowest setting for the ability to use these images. I do recognize some of these because they come up in Wikimedia Commons, they come up in Morgfile, they come up in Flickr, and so sometimes, a lot of this stuff that you get with that license on Google is being pulled from the other sites that you should just go to, like Flickr, Wikimedia, and so on and so forth. For example, let's just take a look at this. That's on Wikipedia. That's not even Wikimedia, that's Wikipedia. So let's go ahead and visit that page just for the heck of it and see what's over there. Take a little while for that to download. How many people in here have a German Shepherd? Give me a 1 if you got a German Shepherd. Or a dog, any kind of dog. Labs, huh, George? That cool. Those are amazing. Michael has got one. Douglas has got a cockapoo. All right. John, I'm SL Services cat lover. Yeah, me too. But my cat left us, and we never got another one. So I just like animals. I think I love animals around the house and stuff. So here we are on Wikipedia.org, and the image was this one right here. But I'm not seeing that image. So if I scroll down, you're going to see other images. Now, just because these images are on Wikipedia does not mean you can take them. Now, here's the one that was offered. And so let's go ahead and see if we can look more closely. Oh, you had a husky, John. That's cool. Okay, more details. This is when I'm going to go. I have now the coolest German Shepherd that I've ever had. She is so cool. Okay, now here's what you do. Now you'll notice that once I went to the details page of this image, it took me to wikimedia.org, not Wikipedia. It's commons.wikimedia.org. This is a lot of free images. Interesting comment, Kevin. Had a lot of dogs, but you find that you have a lot of laws in place now. That's interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, I end up paying through the nose for licenses and stuff. There's no question about that. If I miss the license, I get fined hundreds of dollars. That's not good. So maybe that's what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Now, if we scroll down on this page, you will see the rights. Now it says, I, the copyright holder of this work, hereby publish it under the following license. Permission is granted to copy, distribute, and or modify this document. You are free to share, remix under the following conditions. You must attribute the work in the manner specified by the author or licensor. Well, that's kind of ambiguous, right? Oh, Kevin, we can't let the dogs run out on the street without a leash, you know? That's a law for sure here in Miami, and a good one. And I see a lot of people breaking that law. We also have a lot of wild dogs running around. It's pretty interesting. So what you have to do if you want to use this work, you need to provide attribution because it says so. You must attribute the work. And if you're going to share it or alter, transform, or build it, you may distribute the resulting work only under the same or similar license, which means you can't take this picture, make something out of it, and then sell it with that picture on the front of it, right? You can't, you can't use it for a logo for a product or whatever like that. You have to be able to, so putting it on a blog, there's no problem, but you still have to attribute the work, and there isn't really, I've been through this before, there isn't really a huge amount of instruction on how to attribute it. But what you can do is, you notice that it has the user here. So if we open this page, and let me see what's on here. Okay, so that's like an edit link. We don't want that. Maybe his talk, I don't know. It's like it doesn't really say Nikki Hanaway. So I think what you would do just to cover your interior would be, or posterior would be to just say photo by Nikki Hanaway and then provide a link back to this page in the name, right? So if I were to hot link it, right, and I can just do this on a page here. Real quick, now with WordPress, of course, you don't have to type the code, but I happen to be sort of an expert, so I'll just do it real fast. Now, you notice with this, not this one, the other one, there's going to be quite a few different sizes of this image. And if you look, you'll find, you should be able to find the sizing. So okay, here they are. Size of this preview, 480 by 600. Other resolutions, 384 by 480, 614 by 768. Let me just grab this one. I won't download it right at this time. Maybe I will. Okay, I'm gonna download it to my computer for later. I'm just going to put it on my desktop. Maybe I'll use this for the secret that I show you later. But what I will do is get the URL, copy the image URL, and then I can go back to my fake blog here and show that image. So if we go and see the preview of my fake blog, so we can see the image of that dog. And now to give the attribution, you're going to want to do something like this. I think that was Nikki Hanaway. Seems like a lot to do, but this is how you can get good images and not worry about getting sued for them. I'm going to go back to the info page for this. I'm just going to get that link here and use it for the attribution. What I'll also do is see if I can make that really small. Now you don't have to type this yourself in WordPress, but I'm just doing it really fast to make my point. That's all. You can use the editor in WordPress. So now please observe. No, that's about it, Douglas. Please observe how I put this very tiny attribution under the photo. I think I did font size 9 for that. And what I could also do is have the link open in another window for that. So if I click that, it actually should open another window. And it did. It's going to there. So, but we still have this logo. So that's a target equals blank, opens in a new window if they need to go. And by the way, folks, you may think this is kind of a pain, but in fact, by doing this attribution, you're also creating another benefit to the SEO on your page, because you're providing what they call an outgoing authority link, because you're linking to commons.wikimedia.org. Yes, Kevin, did you? I'm hoping you heard what I just said about it being an SEO advantage by providing an outgoing authority link to commons.wikimedia.org, which is something that's recommended by SEO, what they call SEOs, or people that do SEO definitely recommend that you provide outgoing authority links. I wouldn't really suggest that you always hot link to the to the picture. You should download that picture and then upload it on your blog, and I'm going to show you something special about that in a while. SL Services asked me, should the outgoing link be nofollow? I don't, honestly, I don't have the answer to that, because I'm not a technical SEO geek, you know what I mean? I'm a technical geek, but I'm not a technical SEO geek, because I do so many other things. There may be some other teaching that tells you make that link a nofollow. Personally, I don't really worry about stuff like that too much, but that's me. That's right, Douglas. It's a link to Wikimedia, an authority site. The attribution link does not stick out or get in the way, and personally, I think it looks rather professional when you do it like that. Okay, so let's go back and see what else we can do. So now you've seen how I've done this on Wikimedia. Now you may find images that do not force you to do that, which is great. And now Wikimedia has a number of images that are actually in the public domain, which means that you never have to provide any attribution. You can do anything that you want with them. So the same way that we found this image and we saw the rights down here under the GNU, you may find it say this work is licensed under the public domain. You are free to share and remix, and it will not say that you have to give attribution. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of public domain images available. You could even try a search really quick. Let me just say site. I'm going to see, okay, so if we've got category, you even got a category over here so you can possibly browse images in the public domain. I'm not sure. I haven't ever really tried this before. Wikimedia Commons is where all the images are, so it's not like you can really search browse, but that's AIGA symbol signs. And we can see what else we've got listed under here. This is like subcategory of what? Not sure. Oh, public domain. Could probably anyway, I don't want to waste your time by sitting here clicking, but that's something to look into. That was just a way of searching. Now let's look at a couple of other sites. And also before the end of this, I'm going to show a really easy way to do this without having to go through all these pages. But there's this site called Morguefile. If you're not familiar with it, you should check it out, morguefile.com. And in Morguefile, you can search for free images. And a lot of the images that you come up with on Morguefile, you do not have to provide any attribution at all. Let me just try clicking on free photos. What they're trying to do is lead you into purchasing photos from their other company, which is called Shutterstock. And I've done that. When I needed an image that I wanted to call my own, a really good professional image, I went to Shutterstock and I paid $5 for the image. Let's just see this cat right here. Now, here's where you see the rights. You are allowed to copy, distribute, and transmit the work and to adapt the work. Attribution is not required. You are prohibited from using this work in a standalone manner. What that means is that you can't offer it as a photo. So like, this is my photo, buy this photo from me or whatever. You can put it in a blog, you can put it in a movie, you can create a meme from it. There's a lot of things you can do with it without having to worry about being sued. But what you can't do, you cannot take this image, put it on your website and say, have this photo. You are prohibited from using the work in a standalone manner, right? So you can use it for pretty much whatever you want, but you can't offer it as a photo to somebody else. That's what Morguefile is for. So you can search by keyword also, which is very cool. And give it just a minute to load. And then I'll show you a couple of other sites that you can go to. The only problem I'd say with Morguefile is that they don't always update every topic. Like I remember seeing most of these images 2 years ago, right? I don't think that's right. It has a good selection of free images, but they don't really, that I know of, they don't really update them that much. But these are, I haven't seen a lot of these, so maybe if we dig down, we'll see some new ones. So those all look like pretty new ones. Wow, that's a bear-looking dog right here. Let me check out that one. Take a minute to load. Again, you're allowed to copy, distribute. It's the same thing. So you could use that. You could put it in a meme and pretend like he's saying something or whatever. Okay, so there's Morguefile. Flickr. It's another great place to get images, but remember now, a lot of stuff on Flickr you cannot use because it's owned by people. But there are a lot of images that you can use on Flickr as well, but you must provide attribution. I recently got into a little flap with a product creator who did a big launch about a month ago, and what they had done was hire a very inexperienced programmer, and they had programmed Flickr images into like a PBN building software, but they were not giving attribution to the images, and I could not help them promote that. In fact, I ended up recommending that people not buy that. I do think they fixed it after spending, a couple of days of me browbeating them into getting it done. But they, you have to be careful of Flickr is the problem. And I'll show you why. Terry, make sure you have your volume turned up. Make sure you have your speakers plugged in and turned on. And in your GoToWebinar program, go to the file and preferences and make sure you have your audio. Well, you can't hear me anyway, so I'm trying to explain. And he doesn't have sound, so that's silly. Anyway, look at all of these wonderful photos of German Shepherds that you have on Flickr. Now, it doesn't mean that we can use all of these. Let's take a look at this little cute fellow right here. Mix of a German Shepherd and Border Collie. And Border Collies are really cool too. Now look at here. It says all rights reserved. Okay, so you can't use that. There is a way, though, to find photos that you can use on Flickr. And let me just see if we can figure this out, how to do it by hand, because I've mainly used our software to find them, but you should be able to do it by hand, too. Let's try. Let's see. It's taking a long time for this website to load is what the problem is. So I'm just waiting for this website to load so I can go to the next step. I'm going to click Explore. I'm going to try the Commons because that might be what they're sort of vibing on the Wikimedia Commons paradigm. So let's check that out. That is a cute dog, I'll tell you. Wow, it's taking forever. Okay, there we go. Yeah, thanks, Douglas. I think they already left. Terry already left, so it doesn't matter if we fix their sound or not at this point. Okay, let's look at the right statement. Participating institution, blah, blah, blah. The copyright is in the public domain because it has expired. The copyright was injected into the public domain for other reasons. The institution owns the copyright but is not interested in exercising control, or the institution has legal rights sufficient to authorize others to use the work without restrictions. So that's, and look, it's got these institutions, so that's pretty interesting. I have never really I haven't really explored this, so this is very interesting, and you're seeing it. If you've never seen this, you're seeing it for the first time, just like I am. So there are some great images here. I'm going to have to look into this. I just picked one topic, which was the Internet Archive book images. And let's see if I click on one of these, and we'll see what we can do with it. mean, it's really obvious and well known that for a blog to get merit, to have merit, you need rich media, which means, thanks, Douglas. You need rich media, which means you need images and you need videos and so on and so forth. Yeah, Douglas, you see me enter some uncharted waters on webinars before. This is no exception. So let's check out the rights. Look at this. No known copyright restrictions. To me, that is music to my ears, because this awesome photo, and that's beautiful. Let me tell you, that is a beautiful photograph. You can do whatever you want with that photo. So you could, what could you do? You could put it in an ebook, PDF, you could put it in your blog, you could put it in a video, you could create another image with it, you could make a meme out of it and put text, some message on top of it or whatever. You could colorize it, Douglas. Now let's see, how do we get our grubby little paws on that image? And they've got more in this set too. So okay, here's the download link right here. So we click on this, and then look, you've got all these different sizes to choose from. You could take the huge original one. Now if you get a huge image like this, you'll definitely need to resize it with Photoshop and compress it into a JPEG that's not going to blow up your website when people try to log on. It's so huge. Or you could just grab the medium or the small and put that on your website. And they're also offering all these other images as well. And they happen to be of a particular university. John, yeah, dog lover with grubby paws. That's how we do it. This is some university, but just because it's a university doesn't mean that you have to say it's a university. I mean, you could grab a photo like this and say something like, the archway to success or whatever. I mean, whatever, just as an example. When I was saying you can do whatever you want with that image. You don't have to say it was that university or whatever. So that's the beauty of having images with no known copyright restrictions. You can just consume them and then put them out any way that you want to. Okay, so that's great. This is a great discovery, and it's also going to give me an idea to perhaps try to integrate this into some software, because we have the Flickr images in our software, but we don't have the commons, which is a whole new thing that I hadn't seen before. So we'll have to check that out. Let's move on. There's one called Pixabay, which also has, I believe they are 100% free images. Now, all these have different selections. As I said at the beginning, if you go to Google Creative Commons, then it's probably going to show you Wikimedia, Flickr, Morgfile, and Pixabay anyway, because that's what Google does. Yeah, Pixabay is really good. They have some really nice pictures. I'm not sure about German Shepherd, but we'll find out. Yeah, it's got some good ones. And look, Shutterstock. It's also trying to bring you to buy Shutterstock images, or I don't know if they had put those on there for some reason, but let's just go down and see what we got. That looks like a nice one right here. You click on that and see where we go to. Public domain. See what I'm saying? So that's a beautiful thing. Free for commercial use, no attribution required. Now, folks, if you want to be able to sleep at night not worrying about people going around trying to run a scam and sue people for photos that aren't theirs on their website, then this is the kind of thing that you want to take advantage of, because it's a great way to get beautiful looking images and not have to worry about that sort of thing. And as you can see up here, you can select the size and download. Now for any one of these, I would suggest opening in Photoshop and recompressing to a smaller JPEG, because the smallest file size there is 145K. That's huge, even for this size, but that's because they want to give you the highest quality of photo to download. And then when you open it up in your own editor like Photoshop, you can compress it to a smaller size. And I highly recommend that you learn how to do that. And that's going to be beyond the scope of our webinar today, but at some point I'll provide some training about that so you know how to do it. I do see a lot of my customers and mentoring students and stuff that they don't compress their images, and that is actually a bad mark against you with Google and search results, because there is a metric which is page load time. And if you're, a little bit of HTML is rather small, but if the HTML points to an image that's really huge file size, and the load time of your page is going to be affected adversely by the size of that image that's being referenced in the HTML. Hey Kevin, yeah, good general size to start from. It really depends on your blog or what you're using it for, but if you're just going to put it on a regular blog, if you want to feature that image, something like this is good. If you want it to be like on a sidebar, or more or less a smaller graphic that the text flows around it and stuff, then you make it smaller. I believe WordPress also has the option for you to pick different sizes once you upload a full-size picture. However, I would never recommend uploading something like this. I mean, if the image is over 800 pixels up or down, then it's pretty much way too big. What we had done when I was building websites a lot, we would make our images 600 pixels if we wanted to be like really featured, or 450 if you want it to be featured but not take over the whole space. And then if you wanted like a paragraph, an image for the paragraph that the text flowed around, you might make it 250 width. And if you have an image that's this big, if it's over 35K in file size, then it's too big. You need to compress it down. I mean, an image like this, you could get down to about 25K bytes using a good program. That will not negatively affect your page load time. But if you use 145K bytes for a size like this, or 480, which is half a megabyte, it's like how long do you think it takes to download 1 megabyte when you are, if you're downloading a file from the internet, how long does it take to download 1 megabyte? So just think about that. If you have 6 images that are half a megabyte on your size, then you're asking your user to download a file that's 3 megabytes in size. Exactly, Douglas. That's enough to make me click away from the website. And it's enough for Google to know that not only does it not load fast, but people are clicking away from it because of that. So they'll start putting you lower into the search results because of that. Okay, Kevin wanted to say what size to download to start from. if you're on a site like Pixabay, Wordfile, WikiCommons, and you're looking at those, the downloads, now it's kind of up to you. If you're really a freak, for that topic, you might want to get the full-size image. Like if I really, really love German Shepherds, and I do, then I might want to download this extra large size just so I can see every little detail, right? Just every little detail of that picture. But that's going to be lost on your blog. So I would download that just for me, just so I can look at it, and then I would open it in Photoshop. I'm going to resize that image to 600 by 400 or something like that. That's right, Douglas. Douglas says he get the biggest so he can crop it or resize it or whatever you want. That's kind of what you do if you really want to have the best image. So you can always go back. Now, if you learn your way around image software like Photoshop, then you learn how to crop, resize, and compress those images to get just what you want. But you always keep the source file. So you can always crop, resize, and remake new images anytime you want to. You would never put that huge source file in your blog, though. That would be a big mistake. Right, Kevin? Yeah, Ryan, good point. Ryan's gives a reminder here that Google's going to start slapping sites that are not mobile friendly, or at least they say they are. SL services, no, resizing is not the same as compressing. Resizing is actually changing the actual size of the image. Now, if you download this huge Excel file, you'll probably find, first of all, that the resolution is 300 dpi, as well as it being so huge. Websites use 72 dpi, which is way less data than 300 dpi. So the first thing you want to do is you want to change the dpi to 72, and then you want to change the width and the height to the size that you want. Then you're going to save that as a JPEG, and in the JPEG settings is where you do your compressing. Okay? Now there are other, I heard of one today called Pick Jumbo. I haven't even seen it yet, so we'll go once more into uncharted waters here with Pick Jumbo and see what we've got. There we go. According to what I've seen, Pick Jumbo has free images, but it's going to be rather limited. JPEG is definitely better than GIF, than GIFs, Kevin. PNGs are good. Now, GIF is kind of an older technology. JPEG probably will never be, put aside, because JPEG is the state-of-the-art image compression algorithm. JPEG stands for something junior photographer group or something. It was created as an algorithm specifically to retain the quality of photographs when on resizing and on compressing. It has an algorithm that sort of goes granularly down into the pixels and figures out which pixels can be repeated, which ones can be omitted, and that sort of thing, to still give you the visual look that you want and have less data. That's what JPEG does. And it was designed specifically for that purpose, and it still is the standard. I don't think it's going to be changing anytime soon. GIF was invented by CompuServe, I think, if you recall that original. There you go. Thanks, Douglas. Joint Photographic Experts Group, JPEG. GIF, graphics interchange format, was invented, I think, by CompuServe, which used to be a dial-up service before the internet really became popular. And GIFs and PNGs do not have an algorithm for compression. The only thing they can do is reduce the number of colors. GIFs have something called animated GIF, which is actually a series of GIFs in one file that play like an animation. PNG is portable network graphics, and that's probably the most modern type of image format. It's lossless. There's no loss like with JPEGs, but it can make really huge, gigantic files. So if you've got a complex image, you best save it as a JPEG, unless you've got a PNG and it's a decent size. But really, if you were to take one of those photographs of the German Shepherd or whatever and save it as a PNG, it's going to be like 400 KB just to get all that data in there without compression. So you'd best use JPEG for something like that. What else we got? Pic Jumbo. What else? Actually, these are kind of the best ones. I think I've covered, the best ones for now. What I wanted to show you, a little secret. Let me see if I can find a blog to play with. And correct, Douglas, if you need a transparent background, you'll need either a GIF or a PNG, because JPEGs cannot do transparent backgrounds. Let me see if I can find one. Is that one working? I'm going to find a test blog so I can upload a photo for you and show you something. Let's see if I can get in here. Yeah, I was doing that hotel thing for you last time on this blog, I think. Remember that? Way back when we were working on hotel stuff. Now we'll do a hotel for German Shepherds, is what we'll do. Okay, yeah. So as you know, in WordPress, you have the option to add media to your blog's media library. Every time you add a new photo to your WordPress blog, it also becomes its own page on your blog, believe it or not. Now, if I go to my media library, I'm going to show you that really quick, how that works. You may already know this, but in case you don't. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any in the media library yet. So before we do that, what I want to do is I want to take this image here, and here's our trusty image of Buck the German Shepherd. And that is a JPEG. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm in Windows. You can do this also on Mac. I'm more of a Windows guy. I'm going to right-click on an image and select Properties. And now I'm going to look at the details. Now you'll notice there are a number of fields in here, but there's no data in it. So what I might want to do, now I can put anything I want in here. I can put a title, a subject, which is kind of like a title, or I can put a title. The subject might be the topic. I can rate it. I can put tags, which are like keywords. And in the comments, I could put an entire article in here. So what I'll do is, let me see. I'm just going to say Buck the German Shepherd. And I'll go German Shepherds for the subject. Tags, German Shepherd, German Shepherds, dog, whatever, pit bull, whatever you want to put. And so it's got a keyword. And now for here, I could actually get a whole article. Whatever. And I can also put my website. So now I've got this whole article here, and I have to click Apply in Windows. Once I do that, all that text, and you never imagine, if you didn't know about this, you never imagine that you can actually put text into a picture like that. You can put text around a picture. If I go to my desktop and then I click on Buck, now you notice down here immediately it shows you all that data that I just put in there, right? So that data is permanently now inside it's called EXIF, E-X-I-F, and it only works on JPEGs because that's part of the JPEG specification. Now the interesting thing, guys, is that I can upload this on my website now, and if you think that Google does not read that data, you will be wrong, because Google does read that data. How do you think they show all those pictures from, from your searches on the image search? Well, sometimes it's in the file name, because this is, say, Buck the GSD, and right, Douglas, I should put GSD as a keyword as well. And now that's in there as well. So, oops, I got to apply it. So now if I put this on my blog, that's basically publishing this image on the internet. And at some point, Google will come around and suck down the file. And as they read all the binaries of that file, they're going to discover this EXIF data, this text data. And they're going to use that to index this, this image. That's a good point, Ryan. He says it'll get you ranked higher, and it helps AdRoll or Perfect Audience or any retargeting machine to know what to retarget you with. I'm not a full expert on that, but I would assume that's correct, Ryan. I'd like to learn more about that. But yes, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Brad Goss, because he does this a lot. And in fact, he did something a couple of weeks ago where he said, search for the sexiest man on the internet in Google, and then his picture comes up to the top because he put EXIF data into his picture that said the sexiest man on the internet. So that's what the search brought back. I don't know if it's still doing that, but you could actually make this a full strategy, a full-on strategy to do stuff. Now, especially if you're making memes, if you're making a meme where you're putting a message and your website, that's right, guys. Michael X, Chris Munch, all those guys, well, smart guys. Let's just let's just call it, the smart people know how to use the EXIF data and images. And this is how it's done. So let me go ahead and put that up on my website just for the heck of it. Not like I really want Google to come to my website for this test website because of German Shepherds. It's about anything I want it to be, but I'm just going to show you. Awesome, Ryan. That now I've just gone ahead, I've uploaded this to my website, and with, if you have that SEO, now I don't think Yoast is programmed to announce media, so you might actually want to get that thing indexed. If I click on this, Now, if you see there, this is this link that says View Attachment Page. If you click on this, now you're going to see how that image has its own web page on my website, and I don't even do anything other than upload that image. But that is now a viable web page. Now, obviously, I should have a lot better data here too. You know, I mean, I'm just doing it quickly for you, but also alt text is very important. So you put all that stuff in, and it's saved. It's already saved automatically up here. So if I close that now and I click on it again, I'm going to see all that stuff in there. If I go to the attachment page, now it has that stuff that I just put. It's got this German Shepherd is really cool, bought the German Shepherd, blah, blah, blah. But that's not even, you know, the whole thing, because if you go see the image by itself now, as you can see, that image now resides on my blog, and that image now has all of that text inside of its binaries. So I could actually do something like go to the crazy indexer, and I could index this. I happen to have an account with Crazy Indexer. There are other ways to get stuff indexed, but this is one that I really like. It works great. It really works fast. Taken forever. I think that GoToWebinar really slows things down. You should see something now, Raymond. It was loading. It took a long time to load. I'm just going to go ahead and log in real quick and just show you what I can do here. This is a link indexer, so I can put the image in there. I can put the image's web page in there, and then I can just submit, and so now those would get indexed in Google. So that means Google will come and read both of those, and probably will also index the EXIF data in the image. That crazy indexer is $17 a month, Ryan. Well, it's taken forever too to get those two indexed. So that's more or less what I want to share with you today. Before we go any further, in case you didn't know, I do have this software that's called ICC Express, and we have the ability to do all this, everything that I talked about today. We have it automated so that the bandwidth is really slow here, but you can do your searching for images. Let me just change it to a different keyword like music. This is Google Creative Commons. You've got morgue file to search from. And of course, morgue file, these are going to be all you know, royalty free. Or you can research it though by clicking the question mark. What I wanted to do was find one of those. If I can find keywords 4. This is the blog that we've been working on. So if I open this up, let's see what keywords we've got with this one. Of course, I'm going to just go here and see what keywords. So we've only got German Shepherds. Let me find a German Shepherd and change my keyword, German Shepherd. And I'm going to go to morgue file. That's not a German Shepherd. This one. So now what I can do is I can actually upload this to my blog automatically like this. If I wanted to add an attribution, I could do it right on the photo, so I don't have to do it on the blog. And then I can go ahead and just upload that image right to my blog. And now you'll see this new image, and you'll also see Buck from before. So Buck is going to show up right here when it gets done. Now if we go back to the blog here, and we go back to the media library, now you'll see the two, because you'll see Buck and you'll see the one that I just uploaded. Oh, come on. Thing is kind of going a little bit bonkers here. Hold on. Okay, now, if I click on the one that I just uploaded, and I go to the attachment page, and I'm just going to download that picture to my desktop just for a moment so I can show you something. And that's not it. Save the image. Now if I go to my desktop and I find that image and I look at the properties, okay, I'm sorry, well, it didn't work. Well, what I can then do if I wanted to is I can open that image. Let me get my desktop, open this image in here, and I can put this, anything that I want to, into the EXIF of that file. And then I can store it on my blog with the EXIF embedded in it just automatically by grabbing it from my profile. Anyway, just a real quick look at, some of the stuff that you can do with our software to help with this process. Now if I download this, should have the EXIF in it. Let's just check. Yeah, see, so now you can see it has the EXIF data in it that we got from the software. It just did it automatically. Okay, now SL Services, you asked me if I gave us the secret image site. It wasn't really a secret site. It was that tip about how to use this EXIF data. That was the secret, as Ryan mentioned that, the smart people are using it. So I just want to share that little tip with you because a lot of people don't know that you can do that with the data and the image. So that was the secret. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, so now it's about time to call it a night. I wanted to bring this up to you here. Now, if you want to see the previous webinars, you can go to this link here, bit.ly CCSF-webinars. This will get you to all the recordings of these webinars that we've been doing for you every month. I also would really like to have all you join my Facebook group, facebook.com/group/VICPro. If you're interested in getting my software, here are the links to get the software. I love to have you as a customer of my software. It's very effective. It's very good software. It's sort of like the Swiss Army knife of curation tools. Okay? Well, hey, Bruce, it's great to have you on the call. Always glad to see you. And guys, Raymond says the the screen is blank for him. So I have to type the link because I don't have them pasted. Raymond, maybe you could just come back to the recording and see it, since you're not seeing anything now. You might benefit from seeing the recording with the actual visuals. Okay. It's going to be a bit too much for me to type all those links into the chat box for everyone right now and asking people to wait a long time for me to do that. So I can also give you the links through customer service, and certainly if you join our Facebook group, everything is in there. And what I will do is I'll put the Facebook group. And then once you get in the Facebook group, you can ask me anything about links or anything else. And there is the link to the Facebook group for everyone. Okay, so make sure you get on there, and we can all stay in touch and keep this going on. Yes, Ryan, as a member of our software and mentoring group, you have developer access to ICC Express already. Douglas, I haven't a clue why Morgfile is called that. I really don't. And if I said I was going to tell you that, I think I must have been out of my mind, because I haven't got a clue what it means. Yeah, it's like the dead letter group or something. Hey, Piotr, if you need any help, let me know. Funny, Douglas, you're too funny, man. Yeah, it's the dead letter. Judy suggests in newspapers where they keep all the old research. Maybe that's why. It could be something like that. It's definitely weird. Why would you go to a morgue to get cool images? I don't know, but that's been that way for a long time. Any other questions, guys? Any other way I can help you before we call it a night here? SL services and articles we curate. What is the best practice around editing them? You can edit them SL, or you can also use like an editor's. We use the square brackets to put in an editor's note, or you could also go SIC, S-I-C, inside square brackets. What that means, SIC, inside square brackets, what that means is that you, the editor, you understand that that was misspelled or bad grammar, but you left it in there because that was the original version. SIC. You've seen that before? It's used all the time in news reporting and so on and so forth. Okay, cool. Yeah, Norm, I guess that Morgfile is just to get you to ask why, all right? Why, or just like, it's like a disrupt in your mental disrupt, right? Yes, Ryan, I am in GMT -4, I think it is now. GMT -4. Yeah, it'd be spelled incorrectly. Anything else, guys? Yeah, I'm EST, that's correct. Yeah. So how are things over there in Holland? I know it's cool over there. EDT, not EADT, EST, whatever it is. Yeah, I think we changed a couple weeks ago. Cold as hell, right? Yeah, well, we're just starting to get back into sauna season down here in South Florida. Okay, guys, if there aren't any other related questions to the curation thing, then I guess we're going to go ahead and wish you all a fond adieu until next time. Definitely join up on our Facebook group, and we'll keep this dialogue going as long as you want to. Okay, Kevin, awesome. Douglas, always great to have you on hand. And the same goes for everyone on this call. Thanks so much for being here. And we'll see you on the next one. Okay? All right. Let's Hugh out.